So now we're going to put our Tic Tac Toe board lines onto our board. We're going to do this different though, because we don't want to destroy the integrity of your painting, because you might really like it as a painting and you might not use it as a Tic Tac Toe board afterwards because maybe your pieces didn't turn out very well, for instance. So we're going to put our lines on it in a way where we can change it back to a painting when we're done with the assignment. We're going to be using alternative squares with matte and gloss finish. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give it one complete coat of one of the two finishes. It doesn't matter if you use gloss first or the matte. I'm going to just put matte on because that's what I have opened first. I am going to put even coats going one direction over the entire painting, and then I'm going to go the other direction. I like these foam brushes a lot. I think that it applies a nice even coat. Modge Podge is horrible on your brushes. Even these sponges, you have to make sure that you thoroughly wash whatever brush you use when you're finished, and avoid getting it on the surface or on your clothes. It is not easy to get off, and when it dries, it's pretty much permanent. So now I'm gonna go let this dry. It'll be completely clear, and that's when I'll know it's dry. Okay, now we're ready for our second coat. If you remember, I went horizontal first, and now I'm going to flip it and go the other direction. I'm using the same finish, just putting another coat. All right, nice even coat, and I'm going to let that dry. These are 8x8 squares. The first thing we need to do is we need to figure out where are my squares going to be. And so you're gonna have to use a little bit of math. However you do your math, you do you, I do me. And the way we get to the end might be different, but that's okay as long as it's even. So mine is 8 inches, and I am going to roughly break that down. It's 2 inches and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. I'm going to put a little bit of a dash here, just enough so that I can see it. And actually it is proving to be very, very difficult to see. I'm gonna go to the bottom of my board because I cannot draw a straight even line if I just make a dash at the top. I need to also measure that line out at the bottom. And that's important to mention because a lot of people don't do that. So here's my other line. I am going to use my tape, and I am going to tape off a line, and I'm going to do my outer squares first. I am going to line my tape up right here with that mark, and I'm going to pull it evenly and line it up onto this side. Now I am getting ready to paint these boxes first. Okay, so if you remember Tic Tac Toe, you break it up into thirds. Again, I am going to put it in the inside, holding it nice and tight, coming down and matching it up into the inside of that mark. Next, I'm going to do this side. I'm going to do the exact same thing because I'm going to be painting the outer corners. Again, I'm going to go into the inside. Okay. Now if you notice, it doesn't look even because green part of it. And so the full square are only these outer ones. And those are the ones we're going to do first. Make sure you read the container. And this one says gloss. This dries pretty quickly. This one's already dry. So I'm going to now put a clear coat going the opposite direction. And now I'm going to let this one dry. Okay, so now we are going to take the tape off. It's not completely dry, you can tell. I can still see the streaks, still pretty milky looking, but I'm going to take the tape off and I'm going to carefully pull this off.
I can see already my squares, and my squares are even. This shape is even with that shape and on that side. Now, because I can see where they are, I can freehand my middle square. I still want to be really careful when I do this. You can choose to wait until it completely dries. I'm also going to use a brush this time. This is going to help me keep my lines much neater. All right,